The way we think and what spirituality requires of us can be quite paradoxical. We know that we need to surrender, have faith, and show devotion. But culture trains us to expect the opposite. Ask yourself, when a personal crisis occurs, do you question yourself at those times whether the divine is aware or has even deserted you? Do you become unsure of your faith? Sometimes it can be as trivial as finding that someone else won the massive lottery jackpot that you were hoping to win. Do you even fleetingly ask yourself whether the divine had disappointed you? Our brains and minds teach us to create outcomes. Otherwise, we lose motivation, direction, and generally give up. This process is what drives us as humans. We go to school so that we can graduate and have a better life. We save money so that we can pay for that much needed holiday. When we begin our spiritual journey, it is automatic and built in that we will have some form of expectation for the effort we put into it. Consciously or unconsciously, we do expect results. Yet spirituality demands of us that we have no expectations. This expectation is the essence of surrender. Intellectually, we know this, but emotionally, we do not acknowledge this vital fact. As a result, we often dupe ourselves to believe that we are on board with surrender. But a crisis or not winning the lottery can make us feel that we don't count as much in the eyes of the divine. We do not have to fight this realization. We need to accept this revelation. It is the start of the change that we want to achieve. We get stuck if we fool ourselves in pretend surrender. This pretense traps us into not progressing, and it is something that we do to ourselves. Another area of issue is our ego attachment to our spiritual practice. I have to review that on regular occasions. At one time, I was meditating for 3 hours twice a day. I had powerful experiences. It was so joyful and liberating. For 1 full week, I did not achieve the intended experiences I was usually having. I found myself questioning what I was doing wrong. I was becoming disappointed in my practice. I suddenly realized my ego attachment to the success of my practice. I realized that I was meditating for the wrong reasons. As I grappled with this, as if to test me, my practice reverted to the success it was previously. But the challenge for me with this insight was a question each of us needs to ask ourselves. When everything is flowing for us at the height of our most profound spiritual experiences, can we walk away? I decided to stop my practice for a few months until I could accept that I could monitor my ego and the games I played with it. Ego attachment to our spiritual practice is a significant obstacle on our path. Only we can honestly face ourselves and our underlying intentions. This attachment may play out in so many ways. Do we get into one-upmanship when someone talks about their experiences? We may appear to agree with them, but in our hearts we are also striving for attention and for others to know that we also count as spiritual practitioners. Do we boast about the latest workshops or access to a famous guru? Then we are ego-attached and deceive ourselves. Another way to identify with the lies we tell ourselves is our intention behind what we do on the spiritual path. Do we claim to have abilities that are unique or impressive? The issue with spirituality is that it is difficult to prove to others because, on some level, spiritual experiences are more about feeling a particular state of being. As a result, numerous people claim that they have achieved specific abilities and can be very convincing about it. They may claim to read someone's future and guide their destiny. People who are struggling on their journey may try to identify with someone who is claiming success. As a result, the claims seduce them into believing that what someone is claiming to possess spiritually is genuine. As mentioned in the series, Something is Not Right with Spirituality. If we convince people that we have specific gifts that are not accurate, it is an issue of ego attachment. We can create negative karma by seducing others to believe in our claims. Such a deception prevents us from evolving. Instead, we are gathering negative karma. There are numerous other examples we could talk about, but I believe you get the general picture. There are conscious and unconscious lies we tell ourselves to feel worthy, loved, or safe. Only we know the real intention of what drives us to do this. It is important not to judge it. We need to realize that we all have to go through this experience because it is a necessary part of our journey. Without it, we do not progress. It is what we do with this critical realization. The Greeks have a phrase that they use to describe this. Translated, it is, know thyself. Ultimately, spirituality is the journey to understand the life we live inside ourselves. It requires a particular discipline, but spirituality is a disciplined process. Whenever we are saying something to ourselves or others, first ask yourself, why am I choosing to make this statement at this time? If you are aware of an emotion driving your words, you will be in a heavenly place to practice this. We can tell lies to ourselves, but we have to believe these lies sincerely. The default position of every human being is truth. It is our very essence. As you ask yourself this question before you deliver a statement, you may recognize that you are trying to impress or get back at someone or even take out your frustration on them. This realization frees up your very core to not say something that is ego-driven. We are all part of these fields and consciousnesses that we spoke about in the previous episode. As we free ourselves from these lies, we begin connecting with the powerful energies that flow through all of us, filled with knowledge, wisdom, and love.